Hi, Sam here from Atomic Marketing, and in today's video, I'm excited to share a Google Ads campaign build for roofers. So if you're a roofing company or you manage roofing campaigns, you're looking to increase the number of leads, booked appointments, and sales that you get, then stick around because I'm going to walk through everything step by step. So before we get started, I just want to share a bit of proof of results that we've had for some of our clients. This is really just to show you we're not just theorists sharing random bits of advice. We actually have all the stats and numbers to prove it. So here's just an example of a roofing campaign that we started with last month, and they've had over 102 leads, generating £75,000 worth of new business. Here's another example of one of our clients who started back in April. They've had 338 leads. Here's another example here, 133 leads generated since the start of August. And then finally, another one here where you can see they started back kind of mid-September. One of our newer accounts, 42 leads over this period of time here. Cost per lead's a little bit higher, but we like to show a kind of range of different things that we're seeing across different accounts. Bear in mind, there's no one-size-fits-all solution, but we're going to be sharing all of our best practice information inside this video here today. And really just a bit of context to everything that we're tracking in terms of conversions. We track phone call leads, form submissions, appointment, and sales as well. So we use a back-end platform called WhatConverts. I'm going to put a link in the description below where you can use this platform to really understand not just lead generation, but ultimately lead quality, appointments, and sales values as well. So you can import that information back into Google Ads and really just play around with much better data when optimizing your campaigns. So what are we going to cover in this video? We're going to start off with the benefits of Google Ads for roofing lead gen. And then move on to keyword research and how to select keywords. In part 3, we're going to do the optimal campaign structure and the ad groups of how to build out your campaign. In section 4, we've got setting up your campaign, different bidding strategies. We'll then move on to high performing roofing ad copy. And then lastly, we've got the high converting roofing landing page and then conversion tracking and measurement to cap things all off. And remember, throughout this, I'm sharing all of the stats that we've got from within our own ad accounts that we manage for clients as well. So let's get started with part 1. So why Google Ads for roofing lead gen? Well, the main question actually we get asked is Google Ads versus Facebook ads. And here are some of the main benefits of using Google Ads as a channel. First of all is lead quality. With roofing campaigns, you typically get prospects with a lot higher intent to hire someone. That's been something that we've noticed when comparing the lead quality with Facebook. Fast results, this is kind of very similar to Facebook. You can get results within the first 4 weeks of going live with the campaign. Highly targeted, so you can target very certain demographics, locations. You can be very targeted with the types of services that you want to advertise, whether it be brand new roof replacements, new roofs, roof repairs, flat roofs, you name it. You can kind of target all of that using keywords. Another benefit is highly measurable. So Google Ads is very easy and accurate to measure the results and the return you get from running a campaign. And at that point, once you're getting good results, it's very scalable as well. So you can increase ad spend as long as there's enough demand in the marketplace to generate more leads from your advertising budget. Lastly, it's very profitable as well. Customer value can be very high depending on your services and margins. Typically, for the clients that we run Google Ads for, they've had very good profitability from running these types of campaigns, especially for new roofs as well. So let's dive into part 2, roofing keyword research. And this is really all about how you can plan and select keywords for your campaign. And so there are a few different buckets of keywords that I like to choose for our clients. So we've got service-specific keywords. This could be something like new roofs, roof replacement, all those kind of keywords around new roofs, or it could be flat roofs, garage roofs, a certain type of material for a roof as well. Those are what we call like service specific. We then have location and proximity keywords. These are keywords like roofer near me, roofer London, roofer Manchester, roofer roofing company, and then you put location on the end of it. Bear in mind with these types of keywords, it can generate all different types of work, because when you just say roofer near me, it could be someone looking for a repair, it could be someone looking for a new roof. So just kind of have a bit of a heads up with those types of keywords that you use, because it's not specific to a service. Then we've got generic keywords, which could be something just like roofer, flat roofing, and kind of ones which don't really, they're not necessarily someone looking for a company to work with, or it could be like roof repair, which could be someone looking for maybe doing it themselves, but could also be looking for a company. That's why we bucket it into something called generic, because the intent isn't clear. And then finally, we've got intent keywords, and that is typically when it's kind of searches like roofing contractor, roofing company, best roofer, all those kind of company and business-based searches, which people are clearly looking for a contractor to work with. So that kind of gives you an idea of the types of keywords that you can go after. And it's really simple to do your Google keyword planning. Go to Google Keyword Planner within the Google Ads interface, and then start off. I always like to start off with a location-based search, but if you're looking for more of a specific service, you could do like flat roofer, for example. I'm just going to pick anything that comes to the top of my mind. Flat roofing, garage roof repair, and click get results. And I like to just go through this process, get some ideas, see what the highest monthly search volume keywords are, and then kind of build a plan around that. And then I build them into those buckets that I was sharing with you on the slide before. So you can see flat roofer here. We've got an average monthly search in the UK of 6,600, garage roof repair, 590. And so this is kind of where I start to build out ideas of how I might like to structure the campaign. But typically I will usually follow what you just saw on that page before, but we'll go into more depth on the actual campaign structure in a moment. But just to give you like another example, if you wanted to try like a location-based search, like for London, roofing company London, these are just great starting points to give you some idea of search volumes, what kind of keywords come up, what related keywords come up, if there's any other specific areas with high volume that come up. So you can see roofer Fulham, roof repairs London, West London, Ealing, Hackney, so Barnet even down there. So you can really start to gain a picture of which locations and sub-locations of the location you're looking at are getting a lot of traffic, or rather searches. And so really this is really important, is decide what type of leads you want, because the keywords that you choose will dictate the type of traffic that you get. So if you pick a keyword like roofing company or roofer near me, this may attract all different types of job inquiries. So you need to use these type of keywords with caution. If you're a general roofing company and do a bit of everything, then it's probably okay. But for example, one of our clients, they only provide roof replacements and brand new roofs. So we couldn't use the keyword roofer near me or roofing company location, because that could attract flat roofs, it could attract repairs, leaks, all that kind of stuff, when realistically all they only want is brand new roofing inquiries. So another kind of main tip with this is, when building out your keyword research and picking keywords, you can save a lot of budget by building out negative keywords. And negative keywords are basically keywords you don't want your ads to show for. And so specifically for roofing, you want to prepare lists ahead of launching, specifically for competitor names or competitor keywords and niche keywords. And what I mean by niche keywords are the kind of building merchant-based keywords with people who are looking for specific tiles, specific materials, all of those kind of things. Here I've got an example on the screen where you can see liquids, maintain, materials, all of these kind of things. And that will help your ads stop showing for anything related to DIY or other contractors looking for like supplies. And then the other thing is with competitor keywords as well. That's pretty important. What you want to do is just go to Google, type in something like, let's put in roofer London. And then if you go to the businesses here on the local map listings, just make a list of all the companies that you can find on here, and then add them to a negative keyword list. So that's if you're specifically working on a pretty localized campaign. This is really helpful because when you use keywords like roofing company London, you may show for other competitor names. I have seen that quite often happen in accounts. And therefore, if you have a big enough competitor negative keyword list, that will save a lot of money in the long run. There are tools you can use to scrape all this information and do it a bit faster, but I'll save that for another video. Now, moving on to part 3, roofing campaign structure. And this is really how to approach building your campaign in Google Ads. And remember, there is no one-size-fits-all approach to structure, but by determining what services you want to advertise, this will help guide how you build the campaign. I'm going to show you an example of a structure that we use for our campaigns that we build. It may or may not apply to you, but you can take a lot of the same concepts and apply it to your campaign and strategy. So you can see here, this is one single campaign that we have. We've called it Roofing Services. You can name it whatever you like. And then beneath that, we've got our 4 different ad groups. We've got an ad group for new roof / replacement. So all keywords to do with new roofs and roof replacements. We've got an ad group for location-based keywords. We've got another ad group for roof repairs and then another ad group for flat roofs. So you can kind of see we're building out a structure based on different service lines, other than the location ad group, that is. So you can see all the types of keywords that would fall under the new roof / replacement, all the types of keywords that fall under the location ad group. So roofing company London, roofer London. But note here, I made a little note, you can create an ad group for each location in the area. So like I was showing you in our keyword research here, we've got roofer and then specific locations here. What I would recommend is you build ad groups for each specific location. So you could do roofer Fulham, roof repair Fulham, and then you can kind of like stack all of them under one roof. That is if you're like a generalist roofing company and you can provide all those different services. If you don't and you're only looking for, say, new roofs, for example, then you may want to rethink using these types of keywords. And then we've separated it into roof repairs as well. So we're kind of like separating our service lines into different themed groups, which just makes for better quality scores with the ads, more relevant ads, rather than trying to say everything in one single ad, saying like you do new roofs, you do repairs. If someone's looking for repairs, then we take them to it. We show ads which are specific to repairs. Same with flat roofs. It just keeps everything way more relevant. It will increase your click-through rate, and ultimately you're going to get better quality scores and lower cost per clicks because of it. So here's an example of some of the ad groups that we have inside one of our client accounts. So you can see, very similar to the screen before, we've got new roofs, roof repairs, and then we've got all of our different location-based ad groups as well. Typically, these are going to be a lot lower traffic than the new roof and roof repairs because they're a bit broader keywords. But with the location-based ad groups, you can see conversion rate is a lot higher. So we're now working on strategies on how to get a bit more traffic to our location-based keywords. But naturally, there just isn't the same volume of searches going to these types of location-based keywords. And here's an example screenshot of some of the keywords. So you can see location, roofing company, roofing contractors, location. So this is all the keywords that you would see within our location ad groups. And if you're targeting big areas, then there is like, you may want to separate different counties or cities into different campaigns for structural reason of budget allocation. But in this particular campaign, we're only targeting one single city, which is London, and then all the different kind of suburbs within that area each have their own ad group. So hopefully that kind of makes sense on how we structure the location-based ad groups. So budget and management style will ultimately determine how you segment your campaigns, kind of like what I was saying before. And then there is always the argument as well, should you split your campaigns into different service lines? Well, it really depends. It kind of depends on the amount of budget that you have. So, if it's a grand scale campaign, I would certainly look to build out campaigns based on service type. So new roof replacements would be its own campaign with its own goals, roof repairs, flat roofs, and then that kind of segmentation on a large scale would make a lot of sense. Now, if you've got loads of different multiple locations, for example, if you're targeting different like states or different counties, then I would put them all under one roof. So I would have new roofs, roof repairs, flat roofs within that one location-based campaign and segment based on location. I think that would just be my preferred method of management rather than having loads of different location service type campaigns. As the campaign, like you just have loads of too many campaigns in your account to manage. That's kind of how I would approach it anyway. Okay, so now moving on to part 4 with campaign settings. This is just an example of some of the settings that we have within our client accounts. We use the goal of sales. We then use Google Search Network. We don't set up anything else in terms of display network or anything like that. So if I show you an example in how I would set this up in one of our test accounts here, if we were to set up a campaign, it would look something like this. Excuse the fact that it's a boiler campaign, but you'll get the idea in a moment. Okay, cool. So you can see account goal settings. We'd want to set up all of our conversion tracking ahead of time. I'll kind of go on to that at the end. Customer acquisition, we leave blank. Marketing objective is leads. Campaign networks, we leave these unchecked. Typically, we've not had great success trialing with search partners or display network. We found it's a lot of clicks and you don't really get the right kind of traffic that you're looking for. In terms of locations, you can target however you like with the locations. For this particular client that we're running, we did it based on radius. Typically, what we find is with radiuses, we're able to get more traffic than when we've segmented by individual postcodes of targeting that same area. But typically, if you're targeting a whole city, you can do it just by one giant radius or a series of different larger based counties or postal codes. But I don't really recommend doing the postal codes just because the reach hasn't been as good, and that's been our experience. You might find different. And then in terms of choosing a bidding strategy, so if we come down and you go to bidding, so for new accounts, you're not going to have this option of manual CPC. We always like to start our accounts with manual CPC. And that's really just so we have better control over the price we pay per click. Typically, if you start with maximize conversions, you don't have any data in the account. While it can still work pretty well, and we have seen it work well, it's just using a manual CPC, you can up your bids a lot higher, force some traffic through the door, and then start building a bit of momentum once you've got conversions coming in. Typically, what I've found, if you start with maximize conversions, you might be very limited in the volume of clicks you get because your target CBA might be off, or if you don't cap it, you're just not getting any clicks. So that's kind of the reason why I recommend using manual CPC to begin with, and then transitioning to maximize conversions once you have established a consistent cost per conversion after that point. So that's kind of what it looks like for us. Sometimes target CPA will just be based on whatever Google has recommended, or if we do have a specific aggressive goal that we're looking to go towards, it might be a bit lower than what Google suggests. So that's kind of gives you an idea of how we approach bidding strategies to start with for new campaigns. Now in part 5, I'm going to discuss how to write high CTR roofing ads. By CTR, I mean click-through rate. Really the goal of the ad is to get the click, and the biggest mistake is trying to make the sale on the ad. And like, you can spend all the time in the world writing good ad copy, but really like the whole goal is just to get people to click on the ad, come to the landing page, and that's where the magic happens next. So remember, CTR is our primary metric to understand whether our ad copy is doing its job. And also note that low CTR can be a result of just the search terms not being kind of right. So if, for example, you are targeting very generic kind of keywords, you may typically find that you have a lower CTR just because what your ads are showing for are not as relevant. But if you're targeting loads of location-based keywords, you're getting location-based search terms, then typically expect a CTR of maybe 10% or higher, or at least 8%, I'd imagine. So here's a few examples of some of the roofing ads that we run. You can see here we have a few different things going on. And in this particular example, you can see nearly 4,700 or 4,600 clicks, CTR of 17 or just shy of 18%. So really high click-through rate. And bear in mind, this is primarily targeting cost and price-based keywords. So you can see here, request a free quote today. How much does a new roof cost? And this is for showing ads to people looking for cost of new roof. How much is a new roof? Trying to reach people at that higher level in the funnel who are kind of a bit more informational, but still very interested in getting quotes or getting a price at least. And here in this example here, you can see registered roofing company, Glasgow new roofing specialist. So we're being very specific with the keywords that we're going in after in the headlines around new roofs, because this particular client, they only do new roofs. Here's a different client example, which you can see here. And with the headlines that you use in your ads, try to be a bit more creative than what you see elsewhere. Of course, if you're targeting roofer location, put that in the ad copy and then the headlines. But try find unique things that other people aren't doing. For example, what do people want from clicking on your ad and coming to the page? What are the users' actual needs and what are their desires? So we've offered here in this same-day site visits available. We don't charge for call-outs. So that's a big thing for us that we researched, is people don't want to be charged for someone to come out and do an estimate for them. So we put that in the ad headline, and it works very well. But typically what we do for every headline position one is we use the dynamic keyword insertion. And this is just to have good ad relevancy with the keywords that we're showing for. So for in this example here, roofer in North London, this ad groups everything to do with North London. So it could be roofing company, North London. All of those different keywords will pull into that headline there and ideally show in our headline on the ads. And typically they show, I'd say 80% of the time is always our dynamic keyword insertion headlines. But as we come down and we look at some of the other headlines that we've got, you can see we've got 250 plus 5-star reviews, full guarantee on all our service, an FRC registered roofers. We don't charge for call out, same day site visits. So we've got a lot of good things going on in these ads. And what we really want to try and do is make them a little bit different, like I said before, to what other competitors are doing. And to do that, just start with a quick Google search and see what everyone else is doing, and then try and kind of beat it or make it even better than what they're doing. This is a particularly good example where they've got that clear pricing, no extras, because that's a huge concern that people are going to have someone come out and then they're going to write them a quote estimate and then the bill comes up higher at the end. So that is one particular really good example that you may want to take inspiration from and just kind of like pick all the best bits from other people and then use your own creative twist on it. That's really like the best advice I can give. And like write out loads of different things, trial it, play around with it, show it in the ad preview, and ultimately make it relevant to what people are looking for. And you should get a pretty decent click-through rate from that. But kind of breaking it all down, that the headline really is the most important thing. And once you get the click, it all moves on to the next phase, which is the high converting roofing landing page. Now, I've actually done a whole separate video on this, which I'm going to put in a link in the description below. But I'm going to give you a quick overview and then move on to the last part of the video. So really, this is the essential elements of a high converting landing page for roofing lead generation. This is one of the pages that we've been using. We've all custom designed it ourselves using Unbounce. If you're interested in trialing Unbounce, it's a really good platform for designing landing pages. It's got great features. We've been using them for must be about 8 years now. So I'll put a link to that as well in the description. But what you can see here is something very clear in terms of the title that we've got, the subheading, some of the benefit points, social proof in the form of the testimonial. We've then got that 15-year guarantee as well there. And we're not just putting the logo, but we're also explaining what's kind of included in that guarantee. And then most importantly is our call to action. And the call to action has to match what we say in the ad. So get a free survey and roofing quotation. So that's our call to action in the ads, it's got to be very clear on the landing page. So you can see we are using a multi-step form. So instead of just asking name, email, phone number, postcode, which is what a lot of companies do, especially on their contact pages on the website, we want to ask some easy to answer questions about their project first. So what kind of property do you have? What roofing works do you need doing? How soon do you need help? And that's really, like, I'd say about the sweet spot of questions to ask. 3 to 4 is a great amount. Make them very easy to answer. And what you may find is you'll get a better conversion rate asking these questions first and then their contact details on the second step, rather than trying to get all that information on step 1. So if I come to the page here, I can just give you an example of how this works. You can see all the details here. And then as you come down, you can kind of get an idea of what this page looks like. We've got a gallery section, some social proof in the form of reviews, why work with this company Elite Roofing. They're not called Elite Roofing. I just kind of made this up so I could show you the example page, and just gives you a really kind of idea of the structure of the page, what kind of information we include. So that's kind of like the landing page. If you want to learn about it in more detail, like I mentioned, we'll have a link in the description below where you can learn all about that. I think it's about a 20-minute video going in a lot more depth on the topic of landing pages specific for roofing. So in this last part, we've got conversion tracking and measurement. This is ultimately how to set up conversion tracking to accurately measure your success from the campaign, and the tools we use for phone call and form submission tracking. So it's really important that within your Google Ads account that you set conversions as one conversion, so you're not recording duplicates. We use a platform here called What Converts. I'll also put a link to that in the description below. And you can see from this dashboard here that we're actually able to track every single inquiry that comes through, whether it be a phone call or form submission lead. And then our clients also have access to this platform where they can log in and then mark who's been a quotable lead, the quote value, as well as the sales value as well. So over the period of time, you can see how much our clients have quoted in terms of new job opportunities, and then what's resulted in sales as well. And really having this platform just allows you to really understand your lead quality, be able to measure important metrics outside of just total leads, because lead generation is one thing, but being able to measure what leads led to appointments, what appointments led to sales, and being able to translate that to your advertising campaigns and pull that information back into Google Ads really takes your campaigns to the next level and just allows you a bit more flexibility with how to optimize your campaign. Because what you might find is one campaign or one ad group is producing a lot of leads, but they might be not the right type of leads or the wrong quality. This really helps remove all the guesswork of understanding lead quality. But yeah, the platform's called What Converts. I'm going to put a link below again, and I highly recommend you check it out. It also allows for a very easy integration with Google Ads so that you can import conversions based on a simple kind of setup between the platform and Google Ads as well. But yeah, that pretty much brings everything to an end in terms of this video. I hope you found it useful. Please like, subscribe if you've got some value from it. And if you need any help with your own roofing campaigns, we can work together on a number of different bases. We've got one-to-one coaching, which is basically hourly consulting for your Google Ads account. We've got a done for you. So if you need the whole end-to-end monthly management of your Google Ads account, we can do that as well. We've got landing page design. So if you need something similar to what you've seen a few slides ago and you need a landing page just to increase your conversion rates, we can do that for you. And finally, if you need a one-time setup and you're a bit of a self-manager and just want to kind of have everything done for you and set up to begin with, and then you take the reins with it, that's totally cool too. So yeah, go to atomicmarketing.com if you're looking to work with us in any kind of way. Or yeah, really just hope you enjoyed the video, hope you got some value from it, and look forward to catching you up in the next video. All right, take care.